Hello everyone, my name is Elizabeth. Welcome to my channel. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that I think is really the base of just about anything and everything, just overall happiness, success, healthy relationships, healthy relationship within your own self, and that is the topic of self-love. Now, I always like to say that different things work for different people. You don't ever have to do one thing that I say. You always have to do your own research and really find out what works for you. But these are just things that have helped me majorly, and I really want to share them with you, and hopefully you find some inspiration and something helpful out of these things. Tip number one, we often spend so much time just beating ourselves up and scolding ourselves and criticizing ourselves, and to the point where it almost seems natural, or it's just a part of us, or that's just how it has to be, when in reality that is not the case. All it is just a habit that we formed, and just like we created this habit, we can untrain our mind to think this way and train it to think in a more productive and beneficial manner. And I think something that has helped me majorly is the following exercise, in which basically anytime you start criticizing yourself or you start beating yourself up, catch yourself doing that and stop yourself and think of yourself as your 3-year-old self, as your beautiful toddler self, just a child that's happy-go-lucky, that's full of life, excitement, and love. And how would you speak to that child? How would you speak to your younger self? Would you really be saying those things that you were just saying to yourself? Would you really be telling the child that you're not worth it and you're not pretty enough, you're never gonna have anything that you want, you can never achieve your dreams? I know that I wouldn't. And really think about, how would you talk to that child? I know that I would want to talk to her with compassion, with comfort and support and love, and tell her that she can do anything she sets her mind on, and tell her that she's the most beautiful thing in the world, and tell her that it's okay to make mistakes because we learn and grow from our own mistakes. That exercise changed everything, completely changed my mindset. So anytime you feel like you are beating yourself up or being unfair to yourself, stop yourself and picture yourself as that 3-year-old child, and stop and think, how would you really want to talk to that little being, and talk to them as such, with love and compassion and understanding. And try doing this on a daily basis. It really helps you to switch your mind and really see yourself in a different way. And so if you wouldn't say those things to that little being, then why are you saying those things to yourself? My second tip is to learn and practice on a daily basis forgiveness to yourself and to others. We carry so much pain and resentment within ourselves, and I feel like that just drains us and takes away so much love energy from us, and energy that we can be focusing on love and happiness, on something more productive. And so I think it's so important to make it a ritual every day to practice forgiveness, whether it's for something that you've done or you think you've done wrong, or something that was done to you. And this doesn't justify things that other people do and doesn't make them right. However, take your power back. Instead of living like the victim, live like the author of your own life. What has been done is done, and it is your job to accept and forgive, and to create every day as a new day, as a new you, and you have the power to do that. And this is something that doesn't happen overnight, and sometimes you really need help with it, an outside source to help you out, like a therapist or Reiki, energy healing, etc., whatever it is that might work for you. But I truly feel like letting go of those things and learning forgiveness and just the art of letting go really does give you so much more room and capacity for self-love and just love for life in general. And so this is something that I think is super important to just stop and think about, and really analyze and see what it is that you have been carrying within yourself, and start your journey to letting those things go. And again, it doesn't happen overnight, but with practice and with consistency, it will definitely chip away and definitely free you from a lot, and give you so much more room to love yourself and to love others as well. I always like to say that just like you wouldn't expect to exercise for a week and eat right for a week and then stay fit and healthy for the rest of your life. We all know that it has to be a daily practice, or at least a weekly practice. And same with training and reprogramming your mind and practicing self-love and confidence, etc. It has to be a part of your everyday, and we have to be working on it on a daily basis, and learning new things, learning new exercises, practicing them, acting upon them. I know that a big problem of mine for a long time was like reading a bunch of self-help books and then never doing anything that I learned from them. And then like a year later, I would read the books again and completely not remember anything that I read because I never put it to use. And I would always feel like I'm not growing, and then I would just get frustrated with myself. And so it took me a while to realize that I have to really implement those things that I learned, or else it's just useless. My next tip for self-love would be to compare yourself to others less. And I briefly mentioned this in my last video about self-confidence, but I think that this is super important, especially with social media now. We spend so much time focusing on what other people are doing or what other people look like, or just spending so much time focusing on other people's lives and success, and not leaving enough energy and focus on our own selves. And I think that it's super important to use social media and use other people's inspiration. But if you're gonna do that, then really analyze what it is that you want, what it is that is really attracting you to that person, and start taking steps to accomplish that for yourself. Instead of just getting jealous and getting upset, start to understand what it is that you need to do in your own life to achieve that, and start taking steps on a daily basis to get to that goal. And so that way you're gaining inspiration instead of just sitting there and being jealous and draining your own wonderful energy onto someone else. And also, in the end of the day, if you're just comparing yourself to other people, you're not living your life, you're just living someone else's life, when in fact you're here to live your own wonderful life, your own journey at your own perfect time. And in the end of the day, we're all a part of the same universe, the same world, and basically we're a part of one energy. And so instead of being jealous of someone's success and looking at someone and feeling less of yourself, remember that you are no less than anybody, and you're no better than anybody. We're all on the same level, and start seeing other people's success as your own success. Instead of seeing it and feeling bad about yourself or feeling like you're never gonna have it, start feeling excited and happy, because if they have it, then so can you. And so just that mind switch and that realization can really drastically help you to find more inspiration from other people, instead of just feeling jealous or beating yourself up after looking at other people. Just understanding that their success, their happiness is my happiness, and instead of draining you, just fills you up with more energy and love and energy to go out and get whatever it is that you want to get. And also just remember that years later, when you're going to be looking back at your life, I don't think that we're going to be remembering the people that we saw on Instagram, or their amazing selfies, or you know, their amazing vacation. We're going to be looking back and just understanding how silly so many of our jealousies and worries really were. And so if that is the case, then why spend so much time worrying about other people or how we compare to other people? Instead of doing that, focus on what you do have, what you're grateful for, on your amazing friends and family, pets, your abilities. You know, we can see, we can smell, we can move, so utilize that. Use that as much as you can. Go out and dance, you know, have a creative outlet, go talk to a friend, and do more of that instead of just wasting your time feeling bad that you're not like someone else. And so just doing that and reminding myself of that on a daily basis has definitely been helpful to just be a little more present and a little less involved in what other people are doing. And in the end of the day, it definitely helps with self-acceptance and self-love and just overall well-being and happiness. And the last thing that I want to say today is that self-love is a lifelong journey, and something that we have to practice on a daily basis. And sometimes we're going to have good days, and sometimes we're going to have bad days. And if you feel like you're completely stuck, or you're completely unable to find anything positive about yourself, or you feel so stubborn that you don't even want to, because I know I've had many of those days, I think the best thing that really helps me to kind of get out of that is by focusing my energy onto somebody else. Instead of worrying about what I'm doing or not doing, or thinking or not thinking, you know, start focusing on what you can do for others. Give other people compliments, ask them questions, go have a wonderful conversation. Really think about what can you give and what can you do. And this has actually really helped me in like situations where I feel anxious socially, or you know, if you're going on a date or you're meeting a new person, this definitely really helps reduce the focus off of yourself and onto somebody else in a positive manner. And you know, I'm not telling you to be selfless and to just go out and give yourself to the world and forget about yourself. Not at all, because in the end of the day, doing this is only going to fill you up with more love, and it's going to distract your head enough to kind of cool it and get out of its stubborn bad state and help you transition into a more of a positive mindset. So again, if you're feeling just completely stuck, then start focusing your attention onto other people and understanding what you can do for others and what you can give and how you can make somebody else feel better. And on that note, these are just a couple of tips that have majorly helped me in my journey to self-love. I just finished a book on Audible that covers a bunch of the things that I mentioned really well and kind of further explains everything, and it's called You Can Heal Your Life, and I will post it in the description box below. So I definitely recommend that you check it out. It's a wonderful book, and it definitely covers the subject of self-love and forgiveness really well, so I definitely recommend it. But thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any questions at all, then leave a comment below, and I would love to hear what you guys do on your journey to self-love and what you do on a daily basis to help yourselves accept yourself and love yourself a little bit more. So leave a comment below and let me know. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe, and I hope that you have a beautiful, wonderful, tremendous, blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.